Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lefty from 643 Productions coming at you here with a Modern Warfare 3 free-for-all gameplay commentary. Here I am in the map Lockdown using the G36C. I have the two attachments, Proficiency. I'm running a red dot and a suppressor. Now I want to talk with you guys a little bit more about the Woody's Gamertag and obviously Jesus feud. There have been some updates. Obviously Jesus, or let's start from this perspective. Woody's Gamertag put out a video where he said, "I will fight obviously Jesus." He said, obviously Jesus challenged me to a fight. He said, "I will meet you at PAX," which PAX was it? Was it PAX West, I think? PAX or PAX Prime or one of the PAXs, PAXI. PAXI were involved. We know that has been confirmed. I don't remember which one it was. But obviously Jesus made a hint about fighting, about throwing down with Woody's Gamertag on Twitter, and Woody accepted the challenge. Now, I think both of them knew that it was an empty challenge. It wasn't meant to actually be like, hey, let's meet up and fight. But Woody, being the social media guru that he is, knew exactly what obviously Jesus was trying to do. They were both trying, it was like a game of chess, really. They were both trying to think more moves ahead than the other guy. And Woody's Gamertag knew that obviously Jesus was not going to actually fight him in any respect, no matter what the rules. Grapple only in an octagon, not in an octagon, in a septagon, or however, septagon. No, it's septagon, I think, or hectagon, or whatever. It doesn't matter. There was going to be no fight. They weren't going to fight. Woody knew that, but obviously Jesus said that, and he was trolling, and he wanted to see what would come of it. And Woody knew that nothing would actually come of it. They would never actually come to blows or grapples or front mounts or back mounts or side mounts or whatever it is, MMA, mixed martial arts, taijutsu, waijutsu, whatever, x-jitsu, triple x-jitsu. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what these guys are all about, but they knew it was never going to come to that. And so Woody, again, being the guru that he is in social media, said, okay, well, I'm going to take him up on it. That way I can spin the notion that I am just defending myself. I am a man defending myself. And here's obviously Jesus coming at me out of left field for no reason, attacking me, my family, and all those things. I'm defending myself like any man should or would. And it has come out, and obviously Jesus after that came out with a video trying to purport this story that it was all just a big troll by all of them involved, Woody's Gamertag and obviously Jesus. He tried to say that they were in cahoots, that they wanted to make each other money, etc., 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 etc. And then Woody said that's not true, that obviously Jesus is saying it is true, yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's ever going to come to blows. And in fact, it's not. It's probably not, and it never really was. But if it were to, I want to say this. I don't care who wins. I don't care whatever happens. But I do say this, and I'm not expressing intent to or for harm on any of these individual parties, obviously Jesus or Woody's Gamertag or anybody in specific for that matter. But I do think that trolling, now here's the thing, here's my view on it. Trolling, in this country, in the United States at least, the First Amendment protects all kinds of free speech. Now, there are unprotected kinds of free speech, hateful speech in some counties and states, and different kinds of speech aren't protected. But for the most part, you can say what you want because you have a freedom of expression, and that is protected under our Constitution. And I am almost a strict constitutionalist, and I hold the First Amendment in the utmost regard. And so I respect, even though I may not like it, I respect the right of trolls to say whatever they want. Here's the thing, however. I think there is a lack of accountability. There's a lack of consequences for trolls in this community, in the internet community, in the YouTube community, whatever community you want to look at. There is a lack of accountability. There's a lack of consequences for trolls. Think of it this way. The BBC recently aired a story in which one of their investigative reporters researched and found a notorious Facebook troll that was known for going on pages of black people. He was in the UK, going on the pages of black people and dropping N-bombs. There were death pages saying, rest in peace this guy, and then he would reply, rest in peace N-bomb, or rest in piss N-bomb. And the BBC found him. And they showed up with a camera crew, and when he was out walking to the bus, and they were like, hey, why? That's all they said was why. Now, here's the thing. In my mind, in a perfect world or in any kind of decent world, that guy would get a beating. Not killed, not maimed, but he would be walking down the street. Somebody would leap out of an alley, grab him, throw him to the ground, and just start kicking his freaking head in. And when he's bleeding and when he's laying in the hospital broken and bleeding, when he comes back to consciousness, he will think, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. And, again, I am not wishing for harm on obviously Jesus or Woody's gamertag and or again, anybody in specific. But in any kind of a decent world, I would not shed a tear if obviously Jesus were to get his ass kicked by Woody's gamertag. And I'm not talking about in an octagon, I'm not talking filmed, but if, obviously Jesus came outside of his door one day and Woody was waiting there and just started wailing on him and said, "Don't you effing talk about my family ever again. You cross the line, or you have the right to say whatever you want, but you better be prepared for the damn consequences of what you say." And I wouldn't shed a tear about that. Again, I'm not advocating it. I'm not saying Woody should do that. I'm not hoping Woody does that. But I'm saying that I think I'm using that as a vehicle to illustrate that I think that trolling is protected. I respect, again, I don't like it, but I respect the right of trolls to say whatever they want. However, I think there are a lack of consequences and a lack of accountability for trolls in this community. And I'm talking about overt trolls. I'm not talking about, the kids that say you suck or whatever. I'm talking about, the kids that go into lobbies, the little kids that start screaming N-bombs and fag at people. If those kids were to get beaten severely by their parents, again, I wouldn't shed a tear, because these trolls need to understand that there are consequences. They can say whatever they want because that's protected speech, and I respect that. But they also need to understand that when you say something, you better be prepared to handle the consequences of what is said. And when you go after a man's family, like obviously Jesus did, I wouldn't shed a tear if Woody's gamertag was to show up and just beat the ever-loving piss out of him. Wouldn't shed a tear. I wouldn't be sorry at all. But anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. I am out.